You don't need to.
Isn't it time we gave hands a rest?
It's the second coming, the return of the king. I see multiple men running when I enter the ring. You really thought you did something wearing all of that bling? By the chain around your neck, you know I've got you on strings. You can call me Roy, cause I've never been keener. Give you purple bruises like it's put your Ribena. The kind of bad blood you can beat to dry cleaners. I text your X2, just like a beamer. Cut you up with cutlery if you shit talk. It really doesn't matter whether spoon or a fork. One foot before the other like you're on the catwalk. Just like it's a headlight, like you're pulling out the call. Last Saturday night I took your mother out for lunch. She sucked on my banana, got covered in munch bunch. Fist her in the peach, called out a fruit punch. It's not a good tackle unless you hear a crunch. Make opposition weak with bars that are unique. Waffle top of all the works. I embarrass uniques every time I speak. When I open my mouth, I murk. Je mange fromage fraise, je parle français. I pull up your head, I'm back. But I'd rather play like Michael Easay, running around like I'm on smack. The boss on Eze was a fire that the man got hurt. He's out for 6 months, so that's a lesson learned. Since Palace has suffered, that means it's Brighton turn. So consider this a diss and straight at Dan Burn. Tell me what teams I'd odds and Edward, as all your weak hearts turn into glass shards. I look at the sky, is there life on Mars? Then my thoughts turn to the chocolate bar. Like a pub crawl with poison, every bar is killer. Bust down in Croydon, it's an 8-goal thriller. Your future looks black, but I'm ginger like Scylla. I drink cement and a scram poly filler. Like Conor Gallagher, I destroy rice, biryani and jollo to be precise. 1 minute microwave snack, that is so nice. 99p, such a reasonable price. I'm chatting shit. Get used to me chatting shit now, it's gonna happen all day. Anyway, chorus. Make opposition weak with bars that are unique. Waffle top of all the works. I embarrass uniques every time I speak. When I open my mouth, I murk. Je mange fromage fraise, je parle français. Like Paul Walker said, I'm back. But I'd rather play like Michael Easay, running around like I'm on smack. Make opposition weak with bars that are unique. Waffle top of all the works. I embarrass uniques every time I speak. When I open my mouth, I murk. Je mange fromage fraise, je parle français. Like Paul Walker said, I'm back. But I'd rather play like Michael Easay, running around like I'm on smack. Hello and welcome to Radio Nokey, the only radio station that isn't actually a radio station, but is instead an album. It's 69 minutes past 4:20, otherwise known as 5:29, and we're about to go down into the pub toilets. Alright mate, can I have a J2O and 16 packets of crisps please? I'm dead keen on Walkers. Oh, one of them little bowls of nuts if you got them too. Good for protein. I'm sitting on my own watching people fall over. I've got work tomorrow, I'm the only one sober. Stumbling across the road, he got hit by a Toyota. Bruised off his face blue like the kit of Blackburn Rovers. The lad I'm sat next to says, hi, it's nice to meet ya. He's had a few, he's feeling good, he's shouting like a preacher. He was passionate about deep sea creatures. Now they adapt to their environment with unique features. And I wondered to myself if I was adapted too, but you'll find out I'm not. As I tell my tale to you, every week I have a curry, it still passes straight through. In fact, it's happening right now as I run for the loo. I read the paper, I get comfy cause I'm in no rush. I tell you the smell wasn't like shopping in Lush. I'd done such a big job that the bog wouldn't flush. I had a burn in my ring as I anally gushed. The smell was so bad that I started choking. I tried to get out but the door wouldn't open. I came out with a plan that I put all of my hope in. Start a smoke alarm if I started smoking. I go in my pocket and I pull out a light. The smell of the spliff blends with the smell of the shite. The wall and floor were brown when before they were white. The beep 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 came and saved my night. The door opens a crack, the bathroom light is a dim glow. It's a policeman who's found me, I feel like a dinlo. I push straight past him, I go out the window but I slip and I fall. This is a new low. Lead on the toilet floor, I'm literally in the shit. I burn my left hand as I put out my split, but the policeman just laughs and says, what a prick. I was really confused, but it's the funny bit. I go back to the bar and he does too. There's about 10 men wearing stupid costumes. It turns out he was just on a stag do, and I'm so embarrassed that I leave the room. And as I walk home with my head in my hands, I ask, why always me? I just don't understand. I'll just laugh along, pretend it's part of the plan. Guess you could say I love it when shit hits the fan. Alright, here comes the fun bit. I want everyone up on their feet singing along. Imagine you're at your auntie's 7th wedding. Right, here we go. Sometimes it's like a smoothie and it's green and runny. Sometimes it's solid brown and it smells sort of funny. Sometimes it's little lumps like the droppings of a bunny. If I sent it to a lab I'd probably make a lot of money. Sometimes it's full of sweet corn, sometimes it's full of blood. Sometimes there's worms crawling in the mud. Sometimes I find a penny, sometimes a nearby. Sometimes it's bubbly and foamy like a load of soap suds. Sometimes I stand up when there's nowhere to sit. Sometimes I crouch over a disused cold pit. Sometimes I keep a secret, sometimes I will admit that I really need to sort out my shit. There you go, song about poo. I hope you're happy. Everyone poos. Even your mum. I've watched her. Well, wasn't that a lovely little tune with some lovely, beautiful imagery? I'm sure your mind is ablaze with sunsets, babies, butterflies, little bees floating through gorgeous meadows and things like that. Anyway, this next song's called Moving Bougie. Let's move on. Right, this one's called Moving Bougie. Totally fictional, obviously completely made up. Just thought it was funny. Obviously, fuck Fulham, shit part London. I met her in a car park of my local Audi. The vodka's clear while the sky is cloudy. We have a couple drinks and we both get rowdy. I knew that she wouldn't go home without me. She calls an Uber, tells the driver her address. Knew I was in the shit when she said Southwest. If I wanna make a wifey, I'll be in financial stress. Take out a mortgage for her Gucci wedding dress. Next morning I wake up and the bedding's Versace. I'm feeling out of place cause mine's from Primani. As I'm heading out the door I see Jordan's, Huaraches, a pair of Jimmy Choos and the latest Armani's. She texts me for a date saying dinner at Momo. I Google up this place and it looks like a no-go. Extortionate rates for some food that is so-so. Sushi is better and cheaper from Tesco. But I'm thinking with my penis and I tell her I'll be thrilled. 2 nights later around the fine that it's time to pay the bill. My car's not the gun, it means my bank account is nil. Spent my last peas on this stupid fucking meal. Whoa, 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 why you moving bougie? Don't you know you're gonna lose me? Maybe that's part of your plan. I said whoa, 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 standard higher than Fuji. Polish say it's douchey, that means it's fucking massive, man. Look, to earn a bit of cash I'm playing blackjack with my dealer, smoking green while my hair is orange. Easy peel, I had to sell the whip, now I drive a three-wheeler. Why does she love Balenciaga, wish that it was Fila. I'm not gonna Selfridges so you can shop in Selfridges. What's in it for me? I can't do with all your selfishness. Unhealthy how you overestimate my wealthiness. Wish you loved me for me and my gifts were not for emphasis. Hey, I think we need to cut this off like a label on a brand new Valentino top. I told her it was over but the calls wouldn't stop. She didn't have a leg to stand on but she tried her best to hop. She was waffling on through arguments I didn't understand. I really hate her eating up my data plan. Financial fair play, this girl needs a transfer ban. Don't have that Saudi prince money, so I turned and I ran. Never saw her again, it's been good for my savings. Not spending a fortune every time I'm misbehaving. I finally got that cost-free fun I was craving. That very night I went little car park raving. What a fucking waffle, man. Reminds me of my GCSE English exam where I wrote about Professor Phil McCock. I put that in my actual GCSEs and I passed. Right, back to the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 8. Whoa, 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 why are you moving bougie? Don't you know you're gonna lose me? Maybe that's part of your plan. I said whoa, 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 standards higher than Fuji. The Polish say it's douchey, that means it's fucking massive, man. Whoa! Whoa, 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 why are you moving bougie? Don't you know you're gonna lose me? Maybe that's part of your plan. I said whoa, 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 standards higher than Fuji. The Polish say it's douchey, that means it's fucking massive, man. Right, bye. What a truly horrible woman. Thank Christ I made her up. I'd never be caught dead in Selfridges. But that's not the shopping question now. Instead, we're going away for adventures in Tesco. Play the record.
Hello?
Chris?
Sorry.
Not London or Luton, but Bursard Towers. Big Tesco's on a Sunday, we were in there after hours. Went in for some sweets, but my mate was acting sour. Wanted to save his perm from the evening showers. So we went into the camping section, hid inside a tent. It was warm and it was dry, and we weren't paying rent. Opened up some strawberry pencils, but they were all bent. Paul needed a piss, and so he went off to the gents. When he came back from the bog, he told me what he saw. He was pale as a ghost, he had been shaken to the core. 10 venomous snakes on the bathroom floor. They came into his stall through the gap under the door. He said we needed weapons to defend ourselves, so we left the tent and went to scour the shelves. We soon got distracted, well, it couldn't be helped. We were looking at some smoothies and thinking about our health. We were soon brought back to our senses by a snake that was green, but it turned yellow belly when he threw a mango machine. It chased us up the stairs, we hid behind a TV screen, pushed it on the snake and he was flat as can be. We went back to the tent because we thought we'd be fine, but things would take a turn for the worst in just 10 minutes time. A load of knights in armour stood in aisle 9, and across from them were ninjas in a horizontal line. But he raised up his sword and he shouted, "Attack!" But both the odds and the shelves were stacked. A knight came crushing through, he was on horseback. There was blood and guts and prime beef cuts and Walker's multi-packs. After half an hour, the battle was done. It was a close call, but the ninjas had won. Thought I'd be a bit cheeky, I wandered back to aisle 1 and nicked a couple Kit Kats and a tub of extra gum. We realised we're on CCTV and we'd both look like looters. We went into the phone bit, logged onto a staff computer. The last bloke who had logged in worked as a recruiter. I closed all of his tabs, this man had planned a trip to Hooters. As we searched we noticed that the HR system shit. We sat down through a few hours and we reprogrammed it. We input all the data, the staff will think it's lit. We've got success factors and the payroll is fixed. We finally left Tesco's when the morning came. Although the sky was dry, all the floor was wet with rain. And as we walked home we thought we'd never be the same. Seen snakes and knights and ninjas and even the HR system changed. Tesco! The adventures in Tesco now complete. Beautiful story. Now we're off to the nightclub in Newcastle for clubbing. I'll see you there.
For too long because music speaks for itself.
Used to play black and white, yeah, goodbye. Oh, oh, oh. Now he plays some red and blue, yeah, goodbye. I met a Geordie girl while I was dancing in the club like Ainsley Harriet. She gave my meat a good rub. She didn't have a shower, so we shagged in the tub. Sweet like strawberry sauce, they call that Maggie's blood. Now I've got a taste of this Tyneside fun. I've had 10 grams, now I want a ton. Saturday afternoon, Newcastle 1. Saturday night, rubbing spice on my gums. I can't speak of the week that I'm planning. Not a one club man, moving like Jim Cannon on the bank of the time, but my skin isn't tanning. It's -3 degrees, I'm not cooking like a salmon. I'm just a lad in a whole new world. She rings my 44 like I'm Jerry the World. I'm moving like Rooney, I'm way younger than this girl. With my sugar mummy money by Robina and a 12. I'm on a strip rocking short pink shorts. Hair like Ron Weasley, never been Hogwarts. I'm licking my lips, I've seen a couple of sorts. She's swinging her hips as she walks through the door. I entered the club, that was the first of 8, but the drinks were sold for extortionate rates. To the first girl I saw wasn't prepared to wait. She was wearing chef's trousers, I got a checkmate. I went to another club just next door, like Alan Shearer had a fight and then scored. Scrubbing over his lass, I was like Geordie Shore. Another shag at 3, then 2 more at 4. I was sprinting and jumping by the time at club 5. I had a couple of keys and I was feeling alive. So off my head and glad I'm not afraid of heights. I jumped off the board and went for a muff dive. I was now at club 6 and not even been 6. I was nailing, it was like I was working in wigs. Went from 7 to 8 in a coupe full of chicks. 1 at the wheel and 6 on my dick. Scored 10 that night, unlike Joel Linton, didn't pay a a single bill, so don't call me Clinton. Went back in the limo, the windows were tinted. The expired brown ale, you can call that vintage. Freezing cold on the platform, I chilling my bones. Horribly hungover on the train track home. Scrunning leftover pizza, thought I was in Rome. The smell like last night, no wonder I'm alone. I finally make it back and I'm stood on the station. The cold is nipping at my legs like a crazed Alsatian. When I get back to the gaff, a moment of jubilation. The warmth of my bed congratulates me for my patience. And then I blacked out for at least 12 hours. And when I got up, I fell asleep in the shower. The aftertaste of shots and sours. Been on the peas, I was leaning on the tower.
Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us scanning. Passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. And all the lads and lasses, they were all smiling faces. Getting along the scores, we rode to see the playing races. 2-2, black and white army, 2-2, black and white army. I remember when we beat Newcastle 2-1. They went 1-0 up for Jonjo Selby. And then Gyro Readable with Thunder Cunt equalised. Gary Cahill scored the winner with a header. Classic Gary. He's gone now, not dead. He's just gone to Bournemouth.
Well, that was a fun one, wasn't it? Brought the energy levels right up. I'm sure you're all feeling very hyper, as if you've just had a large sharing pack of jelly tots in the yellow bag. Lovely sweets. But anyway, that's enough of clubbing. Now we're off on a long car journey for Southampton to Scunthorpe. Lovely place. Very friendly people. Right, there we go. I'm sat like Nav in the back of the car and we're driving down the M3. I've played I Spy 4 times so far, 100 miles from where I need to be. Can't wank, can't sleep, there's nothing to do. Out the window there's nothing but trees. Went to Luton Services to go to the loo and there was bugger all to see. Started from Southampton at 7 o'clock, I was slightly more excited then. The car was so hot I had to take off my socks, sweaty bollocks by 10:30. We passed by London on the M25, Sellers Park, Stamford Bridge and the Den. Then into the green belts with the farmers and their wives, we may have run over a hen. Drove past Smethwick, Birmingham, Danny G didn't show his face. Passed through Leicester and Nottingham, lad in a Beamer, fancied a race. He drove 100 miles an hour, straight into a wall, Daniel James no skill, just pace. He crawled out of the wreck and he was 5 foot tall, short man syndrome had caused his haste. I'm on a road trip, cause I thought it would be fun, but it was so shit. Through the car window I can see the sun. On my road trip, pile of crisp packets at my feet, salt, vinegar, dry lips. I ate Walkers on Lineker Street. The journey nearly over, or so I thought. I'd be in the car for 3 hours more. I'll sleep for 3 years when I get to Scunthorpe, so to say this album won't tour. I could have flown to Madrid or Berlin, Milan, Marseille or Warsaw, but instead I'm going to the Premier Inn, still I can't wait to walk in that door. This was supposed to be a mini break, a chance to get away and relax, but instead it feels like a funeral wake, even the sky is wearing black. I can see the chimneys drawing nearer, the handstand up on my back. Despite the smog, my inner vision is clearer, it won't be long till I can unpack. Now we're only 5 minutes away, I've had my last game of I Spy. In hindsight, I think I've had a great day, I've even had a petrol station pie. Praise the Lord, we finally arrived, I feel like I could cry. I was in captivity, high a chance to suffice so far north, I feel like I'm high. I'm on a road trip, cause I thought it would be fun, but it was so shit. Through the car window I can see the sun. On my road trip, a pile of crisp packets at my feet, salt and vinegar, dry lips. I ate Walkers on Lineker Street. I ate Walkers on Lineker Street. I ate Walkers on Lineker Street. Gary Lineker shags crisps. Did you know that 40% of 8 is... You'll have to give me a moment here. 50% will be 4. No, 3.2. 40% of 8 is 3.2. I'm still in my kit, my legs feel like shit, cause I've worked my socks off. As the ciggies get lit and the shots get hit, professional they're not. He goes out for a drag, returns with a bag. He's been down the shops. Another packet of fags and lots of poor mags. No bras, no pants, no tops. Not a drop goes to waste. Purple face like the kit of Anderlecht. He swapped his pace for something vodka laced, but what do you expect? They're all 33 except for me. I'm an exciting youth prospect. Could have played for Dundee if it wasn't for his knee. In a tackle he got wrecked. And after the game I'll get on the train on time surprisingly. I get back home, they call it red light lane, but the rent is 90p. In my pocket there's loot, I take it out and I turn the key. I take off my boots and a lot of prostitutes smile and welcome me. And I don't know why I force myself to do it. Wake at 8 when I'm in bed at 3:30. No, I'm still fit, my insides are in ruins. Snorting up some lines of pre-match speed, playing Scottish Sunday League. I feel like a tank, I'm rising through the ranks in the academy. Messi is wank, I'm more like Scott Banks for the under-23s. Man on I shout, I'm balling out in a park down in Dundee. I run my mouth and put myself about in a Scottish Sunday League. When I'm out on the grass I find a perfect pass and I thread the ball right through. Pub after the match, no card, we got cash for a can of iron brew. 6 pints and a lime with the slices of lime, 5 of them for you. You even drink mine, you say I feel fine as you stumble to the loo. On Sunday morning after the sun is dawning, the match day begins. Ref gives me a warning, I said I never saw him when I went flying in. We were shoulder to shoulder and I knocked him over like I was John McGinn. He was 20 years older and he rolled like a boulder that day we got to win. He's in post-match curries when all in a hurry, the flashing lights of police. Temper struck with worry, white as a McFly. There were 6 bills that he'd missed. He tried to dodge the law but the feds broke down the door. He was drunk but also pissed. Unsteady, unsure, he threw a punch and one more, but he fell and broke his wrist. I knew we could do this like Graham Souness, left the policeman on his backside. We weren't feeling foolish so he dropped all our booners and ran away to hide. In the back of Ted's van, the wheels squeaked and span, went off for a ride. No, moved to Milan, got to Fort William when the police called us offside. And I don't know why I forced myself to do it. Wake at 8 when I'm in bed at 3:30. No, I'm still fit, my insides are in ruins. Snorting up some lines at pre-match speed, playing Scottish Sunday League. I don't know why I forced myself to do it. Wake at 8 when I'm in bed at 3:30. No, I'm still fit, my insides are in ruins. Snorting up some lines of pre-match speed, playing Scottish Sunday League. Now we're off to Barcelona for cerveza, which is Spanish for beer. Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Ibis budget Barcelona hotel. I take a big gulp of a warm San Miguel. I go to the club but nobody knows me. I take a cheeky sip of Julian's Peroni. To impress his girlfriend he starts a big fight. He glasses my face leaving a red stripe. I kick him real hard like Roberto Carlos. There's piss down his leg but he says it's Desperados. His girl's not impressed and in the end he's just lost her. He begs her to stay but gets a face full of Fosters. I laugh and say what are you drinking darling? I go up to the bar and ask for 40 cans of Carlin. We start to dance, she's on a whining ting. The lads agree with me like their bottles are Heineken. I've got an erection like uncooked spaghetti. She's speaking Italian, must be the Moretti. We go back to her room and she's getting feisty. In between snotches, take a sip of her ticey. Head like Benteke and I even let her finish. Had the luck of the Irish like I was drinking Guinness. Quickly got dressed, I didn't stay over. Went sour like the lime in a bottle of Corona. Threw myself out of the window like a distressed damsel. Before I left the stole a multi-pack of Amstel. Can't get attached even if she's a 10. Next day I flew away like an old speckled hen. You know, the best thing about going to Spain is you can go to one of them Spanish Burger Kings and get El Whopper. Right, I'm padding out time, let's do the chorus. 8, 9, 506. This song wasn't true and it probably wasn't funny, but I'm in for the chances and sponsorship money from the lager companies. If you're listening, then can you sponsor me please? I do have a true story for you briefly. I was 14 in town, I was being a tealy, tried to steal gin from Lidl, but the bottle was alarmed and I was faced with a security guard. But despite the situation, I was perfectly calm and I came away completely unharmed. Luckily my mates stole one anyways and we got drunk as fuck that day. November 2019, I'd like to say. Something like that anyway. "14 spliffs is just an appetizer. Don't smoke stupid, you got to Budweiser." If I met Ryan Giggs, I'd run him down with my car, cause he's a wife beater, Stella Artois. So that was Cerveza, which is a song with a bunch of names of different beers in it. Now we got Tory Girl, which displays the long-term effects of Brexit on this generation.
Don't worry, darling. One day I'll get you back home.
Right, we're going to do a slow number now, one like your mother would like, almost as much as she likes me. I want you to really focus on the words, chew on them like the Tesco's finest olives. One rainy night in London ended up in Hammersmith. Oh no, it wasn't in the plan for me to dip my wick. I saw this lass in the underpass and she was really fit. And oh no, I should know better, I was thinking with my dick. I smile and stop a while, we're chatting and we hit it off. Felt like I was watching telly, she reminded me of Toff. I couldn't stand her accent, no, cause she was really posh. Oh no, my ears were ringing, in her eyes I had got lost. It seemed my luck was good, no, cause I took her home that night. And as we walked through Croydon, saw two lads having a fight. She said, "Sadiq Khan's London." I smiled and said, "I know, right?" I really loved that guy, but for her my tongue I had to bite. She had that Percy Pig, pink pussy, red bits on top. She said that Marks and Spencer's was her favourite shop. £9 Waitrose milkshake, never been to one stop. Never had a Yazoo or a Friggy or a Yop. Yeah, I guess I'll turn down the news and hide my views of the world if it means I can get nude with a fit Tory girl. Ow! I felt like Dennis the Menace, I had her up in my gnashers. I thought I had cum in my eye, but it was just her false lashes. I got the ick, was nearly sick when I saw a poster of Thatcher. When she fell for me, I really didn't want to catch her. She said she wanted crystals, but she wouldn't come to Palace. Wanted to tackle her, Mark Gurhey, I'd really do some damage. But I held my nerve, oh no, I only barely managed. Surprised her fanny wasn't fishy, cause she really loved a prawn sandwich. She took me to Versailles, but I wouldn't sign her treaty. She took me to the Louvre because she didn't like graffiti. She ate truffle flavoured crisps while mine were Tesco smelling meaty. Saw a Frenchman selling onions and I tried not to get beefy. She had that Percy Pig, pink pussy, red bits on top. She said that Marks and Spencer's was her favourite shop. £9 Waitrose milkshake, never been to one stop. Never had a Yazoo or a Friggy or a Yop. I guess I'll turn down the news and hide my views of the world if it means I can get nude with a fit Tory girl. I felt like Piers Morgan, I can't do this anymore. Like Balotelli, I didn't celebrate, even though I'd scored. She couldn't see through my lies like I was her stained glass front door. She thought anyone with only one car was destitute and poor. But the sex was sweet like Candy Crush, so I went for one last tap. The bitch took me to Shoreditch, that was my victory lap. I went back to the trap house, I didn't get caught in a trap. If I were a tree, my energy would have been totally sapped. When I woke up, broke up with her over the phone. She was a catch, but I wasn't attached, I was only playing on loan. No longer cuffed, never been so chuffed to be on my own. And I sang, oh, Jeremy Corbyn, all the way home. She had that Percy Pig, pink pussy, red bits on top. She said that Marks and Spencer's was her favourite shop. £9 Waitrose milkshake, never been to one stop. Never had a Yazoo or a Friggy or a yacht. I guess I'll turn down the news and hide my views of the world, if it means I can get nude with a fit Tory girl.
I'm not gonna get political, but I think really that pineapple belongs on pizza.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Tory Girl. I certainly did. Anyway, next up is a song called Truth Can Be Ruthless, which is quite a political one, isn't it?
To both Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur.
Everything stands still except the clock as you come home none the wiser with your stick of rock. That salty sea air will clear the smoke from your lungs. Now get back in your cage until the rat race is run. On the tube I see adverts for sleeping pills, but it's not a man in a trench coat, so it's no big deal. Never mind the product, no, it's all about the image. When the government think for you, your own brain will be diminished. You're a cog in a machine that serves no purpose. Throw yourself into the meat grinder, you're making burgers. Take one bite and then it's straight in the bin. In a world with an evil god, there's no such thing as sin. Keep your head down, cause you can't bear to stand out. You all sit in silence, no one opens their mouth. You can't make the first move with your confidence neutered. Apart from the fear, you are just a computer. Blood, diamonds and ransacked graves. To be a good boy, you must first misbehave. If you're never in danger, you can never be saved. You're watching shadow puppets on the walls of the cave. The mind-numbing comfort of mediocrity. Why would you want to excel when you could just make spreadsheets? Sand turns to glass as a boy turns to man. That asks questions in class, or no, you don't understand. There's nothing in common between the people and their leader, like a one-year-old author and his genius readers. But in a world based on views, it is no surprise that the politicians fall as the populists rise. Not that politics were any good in the first place. Avoid giving straight answers for the sake of saving face. Say nothing in particular, but charismatically to increase your results exponentially. We claim dominion, but we're just a scab. Replacing nature with buildings so boring and drab. No wonder we went to the moon. How could we stay grounded when we left the world worse than the way that we found it? Blood, diamonds and ransacked graves. To be a good boy, you must first misbehave. If you're never in danger, you can never be saved. You're watching shadow puppets on a wall of the cave. Blood, diamonds and ransacked graves. To be a good boy, you must first misbehave. If you're never in danger, you can never be saved. You're watching shadow puppets on the walls of the cave. Oh, la na 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 na.
Exciting.
A body has been discovered in remote woodland in Oxfordshire.
Next up is the last song called Revival, but I'm not going to talk about that. This is GarageBand's playing this. A robot is playing this piece you can hear right now. Ain't that mental? I'm going to lose my job.
Andrew couldn't play with him and wouldn't play with him because he was screaming all the time.
Face to face with my own mortality, I look death in the eyes and terrified by what I see. An infinite abyss staring back at me. I can't suspend my disbelief, but I cannot let it be. And I'm spiraling into a deep dark depression. I feel my heart crush, coronary compression. Counting down the days to death, not counting my blessings. But in the end I learn my lesson, that life is very precious and you have to be brave. concentrate on living and forget about the grey. There's beautiful things here, you'd be amazed how happy you could be if you seize the days. I've known people die of COVID or commit suicide. It's sad, it's made me cry, but also made me realise how lucky I am to still be alive. If nothing else, I live my life to honour those who died. Oh, nothing in life moves slow, so pick up your feet and go. And you haven't got the time to care, but you've got enough time to share. We're all asleep in the same nightmare, so take all your chances and dare. After all, I'm only 16, should be crying in bed, should be out living the dream. Look at the bigger picture, not just tearing out the seams. Look forward to the future, keep my good memories. But I think it's only natural for me to always worry, just in my character, that my head is in a hurry. But my panic melts away and then the sweet, the slurry. Although my life is mint, my mind goes back and forth like Murray. I take a step back to get a better perspective. Could have thrown it all away, but I'm glad that I kept it. Brain was beaten and bloodied, it was practically septic. Went from insomniac to narcoleptic. I've done my bit of suffering, I'm feeling better now. My mental health is fixed and I don't really know how, but I'm not gonna question it and cause another row. I'll keep on moving forward, success is my self-vow. Oh, nothing in life moves slow, so pick up your feet and go. And you haven't the time to care, but you've got enough time to share. We're all asleep in the same nightmare, so take all your chances and dare. For he who dares wins, camping in the woods, eating dinner from a tin, going out with friends as you giggle and grin. In this stage of post-awareness, now my life can begin. Move on from your losses, learn from your mistakes, take every chance you can possibly take. Go at full throttle from the moment you wake. Be kind not just for others, also for your own sake. Oh, nothing in life moves slow, so pick up your feet and go. And you haven't the time to care, but you got enough time to share. We're all asleep in the same nightmare, so take all your chances and dare. Fucking hell, that last one was so cheesy, man.